Several years ago, I was working on a documentary about Zen and meditation. I was stuck on a scene in the middle of the film. The dialogue was that behind everything, behind the smallest subatomic particle, there is something which is nothing. But nothing in the sense of no thing. Wow. Great. Amazing experience. But as a filmmaker, how do I show that? Something which is nothing. As a tour guide for my audience, how do I take you inside this person's experience of nothing? What can I show you? Maybe I'll just leave it all black. Let there be nothing but silence. Let the audience imagine it. Nope, I already did that in a previous scene. Maybe I'll make everything disappear. Go to white. Nope, I already did that. What can I do? For 3 days I was stuck on this shot. I took walks, racked my brain. Nothing worked. No idea fit. I had nothing. My producer begged me, move on. But I couldn't let it go. This was the third act. I went to get chai one afternoon. I sat down at a table covered with magazines and books. One was of Monet's paintings. I flipped through and halted. There, before me, was a painting of a stream with a small bridge over it. I studied it closely. It was kinetic, full of energy. The brushstrokes were flowing into each other, all to produce a single image that created the illusion of life that Monet must have seen that day. Eureka! This is what I've been looking for. I could feel it. Somehow, this was the answer. I was so grateful to the cafe owner for putting those books out. I went out into the parking lot, excited, but nervous. How could I recreate Monet's brushstrokes in 3D? I didn't even know if it was possible, but at least I had a direction. At home, I found some old tutorials from years ago that I'd never gotten to. After several hours, I had something that I felt might work. At last, there was light at the end of the tunnel. It wasn't actually light or an actual tunnel, but it was something. Here are the results of my journey into the mind of another in order to illustrate the experience of something that is nothing.
It's almost like a standing wave in a flow of molecules. As the environment flows through the body, it's structured by DNA to have this shape and to do these things, but it's just a flow. And so I began to identify with the world. I began to identify with the universe until I realized one day that behind everything, behind the smallest subatomic particle, there is something which is not something. There's something which is, to me, it was nothing, but nothing in the sense of no thing. It was not a thing. There is a substance which is the real substance, but it's not a thing, and it is not. It has none of the boundaries of things. It is not. Has none of the limitations of things. It is omnipresent. And at that point, I realized I'm that nothing.